it's recording. Boys.
Yeah, there she blows.
Salutations, boys. Mm.
Como se dice, boys?
Celebrate, good boys. Come on.
Okay, I think
There we go.
What did Lenny Bruce say? It's always in threes. Just like deaths of 60-year-old comics, they're all in threes.
That's right. That's right. It's time to celebrate, boys. Okay. Oh, what's the next part? Oh, okay. Never mind. Anyway, boys, we're back.
You're frazzled. You're out of control.
I'm out of control. I'm
It's that bisexual lighting.
off the rails. It's this bisexual halo effect behind me. I'm
Do you have something to tell us?
in a haze of bisexuality. No, I don't have anything to tell you new.
No.
Just I'm living life. I'm proud.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
living
sorry,
life out
but
loud.
you need to understand that my non-monogamous lifestyle is something you're just going to have to become accustomed to if
No,
we're
I'm
going to make this relationship work.
very monogamous. Just, I'm exploring myself and others. Kent is a good man.
All right. Well, in that case, if you guys want to know more about Kent and the boys, you can follow us on social media at WineBoysPod on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me at Zach Cossack on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Zach Cossack Comedy on TikTok. Teespring.com/stores/The Wine Boys for all your merch. And wineboyspod@gmail.com for wine suggestions, video submissions, anything else you want us to talk about and play out on the podcast. We are here to listen. Go and watch all new episodes and everything and more over at the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Wine Boys. And take that subscribe button and just wrap it around you and squeeze it and punch it and smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Think of it's like a Snuggie of subscribing. Just like bring it in and leave a good review. 5 stars. It literally like it. YouTube doesn't like us unless you comment and then you put a 5-star review. It's like
Just give that subscribe button some tender kisses, okay?
I should say not YouTube, but like Spotify and Apple Music and wherever you get your podcasts. So
okay, boys, follow me at Lord Gerald on the Instagrams and the Twitters. I'm out here living my life like it's golden. You have wine tonight.
I do. I did buy wine.
Okay.
We'll pour one out for another fallen soldier of comedic misfortune.
Yep. Okay. No, I'm still on that scumbag gang shit, and I'm drinking the Butcher again. If you want to hear about it, this actually got rave reviews. So yeah, last week's episode, feel free to give it a download and a listen, where I talk about the Butcher. It is a 2020 Zweigelt, which is the most widely grown grape in Austria. So, yeah. Yep.
Sorry, I'm trying to open this without.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just give that a little aeration in this nation. There we go.
I got the fancy cork.
So what are you drinking this evening?
I am drinking a Portuguese blend.
Okay.
So I've been really into Portuguese wine.
Mm-hmm.
I've really been into like Spanish blends.
Okay.
So and I hadn't had a good Portuguese wine in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So this one I looked up, became highly recommended. I mean, look at this. Look at the red. I mean, look at that. I just want to bathe in it. Ooh. I can already tell I'm going to like this. So these are these are Portuguese grapes. They are this varietal. It's like, think of it as like kind of one of those typical Cabernet Syrah type of blends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be kind of dry, but that Syrah is going to really brighten everything up. So this is called, I believe it's pronounced Cabriz, Cabriz.
I might be able to find that.
Yeah, it's a pretty widely available wine. But there's like nothing on the back of the bottle. It basically just tells you the grapes. So this is 30% Touriga. This is 30%, I believe it's Aragonés, and then 40% Alfa Rashiro.
Okay.
So basically, it essentially is just a like red steak, like a red steak wine, basically.
Okay.
And it also
no
says it goes well with soft cheeses as well.
Okay.
But
Oh.
so forgot to grab my aerator, but that's all right.
Let's get a look, see what it looks like, and give Daddy a smell. Tell me what it's like.
It's very floral. It opened up really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I get like a black licorice.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what the other thing is. Almost piney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, look how deep and red that is.
Oh yeah, that's very red.
Mm-hmm. Let's give her a try.
Yeah, it's almost black, like inky.
That's nice. Yeah, it's like it has all like the really, really good qualities of a Spanish blend.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much. Yeah, inky is a good way to describe it. It's like it's like stick to your ribs wine.
Yes.
All right, let's
that
do
sounds like it's probably a very good candidate for a Calimoco.
See, now we're cooking.
Yes.
All right,
which,
so this is
for the uninitiated boys, the Calimoco, one that we've also discussed back in the archives, is a kind of a relative of sangria. It's half red wine, half Coca-Cola.
Which is not as weird as it sounds.
It's actually very good.
At first, I was like, what kind of nonsense are you what kind of bum wine are you trying to force upon me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want me to live under a bridge? I'm confused at what you're trying to do to me.
Mm-hmm.
But, so this is Cabrez. It's the Doa Reserva. It is a 88-point wine.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get notes of bold, tannic, dry, and highly acidic. Notes of vanilla and chocolate, plum, dark fruits, and raspberry, which I would say I'm not really getting that vanilla note. Maybe I gotta like give it another. You ever had like the Dove dark chocolate?
Yes.
That's what this smells like.
Okay.
That stuff, the kind of stuff that your grandmother would give you, and you go, "Where's the Milky Ways?" And she goes, "You will eat this, and you will like it."
This is good chocolate, you little fuck.
This costs Grandma $10 extra if you don't. Oh God! Why don't you have one of my Pepto-Bismol mints?
This was an impulse buy at Macy's.
I went to the Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
So you get food pairings of beef, lamb, game meats, and dark poultry. It also says soft cheeses will go well with this. So a little brie and a little cabrez, and that's just her name. I love a good cheese.
Little monster.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll have some brie and some cabrez, and also I'll take a little bit of Munster.
Little Gouda. Little Gouda.
Fontina.
I
had a goat milk cheese the other night at this wine bar in Lower Manhattan, which fucking hit so hard, man. It was like I got an organic wine.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm doing. Like this is how I'll go on a date with a girl, and we'll go to a wine bar, and then I'll discover it, and then if I'm in the area, whether I'm doing a show or if I'm just like popping in and just like hitting an open mic in the area, I'll just fucking go into the wine bar and just be like, I liked that one last time. I would like to have a glass after I'm kind of all set and done with the evening, and that's my decompression. Like that is
like, I like it.
There's nothing I didn't understand what Hemingway was talking about when he was talking about the way to basically realign yourself is to just find your favorite alcohol and just drink it to excess. Just drink it to a point where you're just toppling over. But I don't. I like to have a clear mind about me. I think there's really no better balance than like taking a good edible and like drinking a glass of red wine. Like it's
nice. It's really nice.
Yeah. I'm looking for like a weed and wine pairing. I'd love to do something like that.
Wow. That might be a move. That might be a move. We might be able to make that one happen.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, that might be a move. Hey,
I mean, I'm not saying that we're gonna be the proprietors of this, but I'm also saying I'm making money moves here. So
yeah, little Blue Dream and a Cab Sav. It's
let's just say it like this, all right? Magic Johnson had the opportunity to get in at the ground level of Nike, buying it at 18 cents a share. Nike's worth $140 a share and $5.8 billion now. Because Magic decided to go with the safe bet, and he went with Converse.
Converse, yep.
It's the 1C that he put on.
Which is silly because Nike owns Converse now.
Damn, that was a good joke, and you fucking just breezed right. I'm deeply upset you didn't understand what I just said. I said it's the only C that he ever put on. Like
condom, yeah.
Okay. I get it.
Listen, this isn't Frasier.
No,
okay?
This is your fault.
Okay, this isn't Frasier. It was a little too highbrow for me. All right, I'm mostly plain and simple dick jokes. I don't like elaborate shit. I don't need to spell.
Would you like some tossed salad and scrambled eggs?
Just give me that shit straight. Set them up and knock them down straight down the middle. That's all I need. All right?
I guess my highbrow comedy will just make it to the moon.
Maybe
it's
I'll be down here, blue collar.
You mean like listening to Bill Engvall? Here's your sign.
Yeah, that's it right there. You know you're a redneck.
Yeah.
That's.
You know you're a redneck when you fuck your sister. Like, okay, man. Like that's just stupid.
That's how I feel about Jeff Foxworthy. He has so many of them. You know you're a redneck when your family tree doesn't quite fork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I hate his success, but understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can sit here and wax poetic about why I couldn't make it because Jeff Foxworthy had a career. And it's like, no, man, just like find your thing and keep doing it.
Yeah, yeah. And on top of
Foxworthy's getting Netflix specials.
Yeah. But also that whole like blue collar comedy tour, I remember when those guys like ran the world. And
they were
like
selling,
in the early 2000s.
They sold out the Grand Ole Opry 6 times
in a weekend. like
the fucking Opry.
Yeah, it was fucking Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, 2 shows a night. Sold it out. Bam, nothing.
They sold out the basketball arena in Houston. Like,
yeah, fucking Joel Osteen like preaches there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rockets can't sell it out, but Joel Osteen can.
But Joel can.
Yeah.
It's been different since Harden left. No, but Joel can.
I can't keep up with James Harden. He's on a different team every week. Like, the fact that the trade deadline happened, I'm sure he was just like, I'll go to Boston. It's just like, because they're winning now, James. I get it. But
yeah.
You know, so the playoffs, the NBA is doing these play-in games now because they want to get more eyeballs before people divert for like baseball and like other stuff, before the NFL draft can sink their teeth into the sports viewers.
Yeah, before they just come in and just fuck everything off.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 biggest stories that have happened in sports this week, I believe 2 of them were in the NFL. You know, and it's like, you know, one of them was a guy getting run over by a truck.
Well, yeah, and even then, it seems like it was. Why was he on the high? We don't know.
There's a lot of. We're talking about Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace.
Yeah.
I think that like. We should have poured one. Let's pour one out for the homie. We got a couple. We got a couple of eulogies.
We got a couple. We got a couple eulogies.
Apparently his car broke down.
Okay.
On the side of the road, and then he was trying to cross lanes so he could get help, and that is what happened.
Yeah, that's why you don't walk across.
I mean, hey.
You know what?
It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace to the god.
Yeah. So we lost Dwayne Haskins, and then we lost a comedy legend yesterday, Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
You may remember him as the voice of Iago in Aladdin, and also one of the most iconic voices just in general.
Yeah. What did he pass away from?
It just said a long illness.
Okay.
It was giving me like Norm Macdonald vibes.
Okay.
This dude's probably been battling cancer, and like nobody will say anything.
Yeah. Like Virgil Abloh.
I'm just thinking
a bunch of people like that recently.
I know, but like I'm just thinking now because it always happens in threes, and what a devastatingly bad year for white male comedians in their 60s. It's like it's been a bad year.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald at the tail end of 2021, Bob Saget, and then Gilbert Gottfried. Like
yeah.
I'm just imagining like that round table would be fucking so good.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Just like Bob is doing coke off of an angel's tits. And he's just like, hey, Norm, you want to get on this? And Norm's like, well, I was thinking about it. And you ever walk into a three-way with Jesus?
Yeah.
He asked me if I
getting coke all over her tits.
Yeah.
You're wasting it.
And then Gilbert Gottfried comes in and says, you ever wonder what happened to that 72 virgin thing? I got up here and I was like, everyone is ugly.
Now only got 2 virgins. No, but
and I'm sitting with them. It's Bob and Norm. Yeah. A guy that like, fucking just all of them in their own respects, like criminally underrated. Mm-hmm. And you only realize how good they are to when you can go back and watch their old stand-up.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, like Saget and like Gilbert Gottfried in the 80s just fucking mowing people down. Mm-hmm. And then Norm came in with this like just this weird like aloof style that was so smart because people are like, where's he going? He's like, there's somebody behind the wheel of this car, but there's no direction.
Yeah.
And it's just like the jokes made like at first there was like, what is he getting at? And then the punchlines would just come and it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, what just happened to us? Mm-hmm. We just got taken down this like weird path that we were not expecting to go down.
Yeah. So rest in peace to the guy. You know what's weird? Last week we ended the episode talking about death. And now we're
saying we're the Grim Reaper?
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
When death comes knocking, you best not answer the door.
Yeah. Imagine what kind of job that's like, though. Like, you're death. You're the angel of death. Like, how do you file your taxes? Like, do you?
Yeah. I don't think you do. I think you're kind of... because you're not employed technically, right? Are you employed by...
You're probably like an independent contractor.
Yeah,
like I imagine, like,
just getting fucked by the man.
Well, people die every day, B. So you got to be like everywhere. So there's probably like it's probably like a McDonald's sort of thing where like you're never more than 10 miles away from one at any given time.
10 miles? Talk about fucking 10 steps.
Well, you live in New York. There's one like you can't take a left turn without seeing one, but.
No, even like a normal neighborhood, like in my old neighborhood where I live, there were 2 McDonald's within a mile of each other.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Okay,
you literally you saw them in like the same vision. Like you were like pulling out of one, and it's just like, oh, the other one's right there.
Yeah. Okay.
You think maybe this is a bit of an oversaturation, but
sure. But there's McDonald's everywhere. What I'm saying is there's probably like Death Corp, Big Death. And then there's like different operators, like different owner operators of their own little death shops. So like you've got,
what is the equivalent company of Death Corp? Like
McDonald's.
Okay. All right. That's
McDonald's. Yeah. Like, so the way McDonald's is set up is they really just franchise. Like I want to say like 90% of McDonald's restaurants are all franchises. Mm-hmm. And the way they work is like, if you operate a McDonald's franchise, you have to buy everything from that McDonald's. You have to buy the ice cream machine that they spec out. You got to buy the fryers. You have to build your building in a certain way.
Sure.
All the uniforms, all that shit. But even though there are franchises, it doesn't matter what McDonald's you go to. You're going to have the same experience. All the food is going to taste exactly the same. Mm-hmm. It's, when I say McDonald's cheeseburger, you know exactly what you're getting, right?
You're getting a flat piece of burger.
Exactly. But it's familiar. You know what it is. It's going to taste exactly the same with the same shit on it every single time.
Depends on how long it's been out.
Good. Even that's debatable.
Act like you've had a 2 a.m. cheeseburger that absolutely hit. Like it never hits as hard as like it's a 6 p.m. cheeseburger.
Well, the thing is that I'm usually drunk. So at that point, it doesn't matter.
It's true. Oh, man. I don't remember the last time I had drunk McDonald's. Because usually there's like... Mm-hmm. I mean, New York, it's different. It's just like there's a fucking taco stand or like a halal truck like around the corner, so you can just hit that up and it's better. But but yeah, there is in Queens there's a McDonald's next to a City MD. Like the irony of that, like I can't get over it.
Yeah,
it's just like, hey guys, it's ironic, but Bill had a heart attack and we just happened to be right next door at the McDonald's. And
yeah, well, waiting for Bill, he had a heart attack, so I'm gonna go get a McDouble. I'll be back. Yeah.
Just like maybe not do that. Go to the Sweet Green instead. It's just like I don't want that shit.
Nah, fuck that. I'm Daddy's Hungies. So, but anyway, like I was saying, so imagine like this is your thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a 1099. You open up your own death franchise, and you just got to go around like, oh, like someone needs to die today. And you walk up, put on your black cloak and shit, touch the guy, and that's it. Like he's out. I'm wondering, like, how do you file your taxes? Like, what do you claim? This is what I think of death.
I mean, what do they say? The two things in this world that you can't escape is death and taxes.
Exactly.
But what if death can't escape? I was gonna say, but death can't escape taxes.
Death can't escape the taxes.
I can imagine Death wearing like one of those green visors, like crunching the numbers.
Yeah.
And he's just like, man, the real world is really bending me over a barrel with this.
God damn. How much money did we spend on paper clips last year, Deb?
Deb, come here for a second. I'm looking at the receipts. Did you buy the wide paper clips, the ones that like fold over the paper? Yeah, you told me to. I did not tell you to do that.
I just said get regular paper clips,
I said get paper clips. She goes, but yeah, but you had all these giant files and they weren't fitting. Deb, make them fit. Just make them fit.
Make them fit. For me, Deb. For me, please.
Just this disgruntled skeleton. Just like Deb, like I'm trying to. I want to pay out bonuses this year. I do. I
really do.
This paperclip thing is literally, you're going to make me kill myself again.
Deb. This is out of control, okay?
What's next? You're going to say that we're using clear-sided masking tape? God damn it, Deb, you bought oh, God, you bought the fucking clear-sided tape again, didn't you?
Deb, did you really buy Charmin? Deb, Charmin.
There's a reason why I cut the deal with the Cisco rep. I said, and I quote, it rips through my hand, it's fine.
Poo on the finger never lingers, Deb. Come on.
If I accidentally give myself a prostate exam, it's fine. Okay. There was really nothing worse. Like you go in for a hefty wipe, and your hand just rips right through the paper.
Oh my God! And you get a little brown under your nail.
Oh my no! Oh, I never go under the nails, but I just give myself a little poke in the balloon knot, and I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, no, it's always the thing is whenever I rip through the paper, it's always on the first wipe, which is the chocolatiest. So
it's always the one that has the most real estate involved.
Yeah. So you get a little poo under the nail, and I'm like, I gotta sit there and like scrub my fingers, like.
Oh God, I had a situation. I was waiting for the bathroom after a show the other night. And this guy was in there for a while, and it was one of those one stalls, and I was like, I had to poop, so I was like, I'm just waiting. And this guy is like it just sounds like he's using too much toilet paper. Like you just hear the sound of the toilet paper roll. It's just like, he's just like he keeps pulling it. I'm like, he's gonna use all fucking toilet paper. So he gets done, and the toilet is like you know the sound of like a laboring toilet.
Oh yeah, it's working.
Like when
hard.
It flushes, it's like I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah. I was like, I said I'm gonna break this thing. There's no way. And there's no plunger, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it ride. So so I went and I tried to use the least amount of toilet paper I could, because he didn't leave much, but there was like just enough for me to like get a couple of good, try to clean up a little bit. And I'm like saying Hail Marys as I'm about to flush the toilet. And I flush it and it bubbles a little, and I'm like, fuck, here it comes. And then it goes down, but like only the shit goes down, and it's just toilet paper in the toilet. And I'm like, that's all that matters. We got rid of the waste. Like, thank
Mission
God.
accomplished.
Your mission accomplished. We got the real problem down.
Yeah.
The thing we don't want people seeing.
Yeah.
Like, I can live with another guy being like, "God, who uses all this toilet paper?" Like, I can live with that. I can't live with somebody seeing a log of my shit. Like,
listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You need to get a bidet, bro.
I know. Well, this wasn't in my home.
I understand this wasn't in your home. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But
it's a conversation I'm having.
Oh, you're proposing it to the roommates.
I'm going to make I have a PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. Okay.
And I go, guys, listen. There's a potential that my online presence could get us. You ready for this? Clean assholes. And I just wait. And I go,
clean assholes.
And that's the tagline. And then I wait for somebody to go on. Thought you never ask.
Listen.
What if I said that you will never use toilet paper again? And it's just like, okay, your dramatic pauses are really bothering me. Can we get to the point? And it's just like, okay. What if I just got you a water jet to just clean you for the rest of the time? Can I get you in one of those today? Can I get you in one of those today?
What's it going to take for me to get you into this 2008 Volkswagen Jetta? What's it going to take?
Listen, you've been eyeing this thing. You've been eye-fucking this car. I could see it from across the lot.
Look at this. I could tell. You want this Chevy Equinox, and it wants you. It's 2012, only with 106,000 miles on it. What's it going to take for me to get you into this?
There's a distinct possibility. If I speak to my manager, I can get you a loan for less than 20% today.
Less than 20%. Listen, now because I like you, I can get you 21% APR. Yeah, it's gonna double the cost of the car over this 7-year loan I got you in.
Yeah. There is no way in hell you're going to be able to pay this off. And yes, you're going to be severely upside down on this car.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not the question of the future. It's the question of the present.
The question is now.
Yes.
Let me start her up. Purrs like a kitten.
You ever gotten into a late model Chevy Equinox?
They're fucking terrible.
Dude, they're tank-like.
Yeah.
They rumble.
Oh yeah, they're all loud. They're creaky as shit.
I had a buddy who had one a couple of years ago.
All the cloth seats are stained and gray.
They stink for some reason.
They stink. Yeah, they all smell like cigarettes.
Sounded like a tugboat when he was driving. You ever pull when you pull on a gas lawnmower to like really get it started?
Yeah.
Just like that was the car for the entire trip. Like just exactly. And I go, is this thing broken? He goes, no, just put a fresh thing of oil in it. I'm like, I don't think that's helping.
Sick.
Did you put corn oil in it? What'd you put in this thing?
Motor oil? Yeah, no.
There's like a kitten. Yeah, a kitten that's about to die.
Purrs like a dying kitten. So.
Purrs like a cat you're about to put down. Jesus.
Oh my God. Yeah, those cars are fucking terrible.
They're terrible. What's the worst car that you've had?
I owned personally?
You've had so many cars.
I've had so many shitty cars at that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. The worst car I've owned was probably my first car.
You got to refresh my memory. What was that again?
It was the Pontiac Grand Am.
Oh shit! You had a Was it red? It was red.
Yes, it was red.
Okay, of course.
Yeah, it was red. It was a 2-door.
I love that car.
She had a lot of issues. The check engine light was perpetually on that car.
Going to reset it, never worked.
It would be off for like 2 miles and then just turn back on. Off just long enough to like pass the inspection. Actually, I had that car for about 2 years, and once I got the, of course, more expensive O2 sensor replaced, then the check engine light never went back on. But the transmission seized, and
Never
that
good.
was the end of that. And I was like, I spent the car itself cost like $1,200.
You probably spent double that, if not more.
I probably put worth of just fixing things. I probably put about $700-800 into it.
Okay, so it
but
wasn't.
Once the transmission went, I was just like, it's really not worth it.
Yeah, the transmission is going to cost more than the car.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it probably would have cost $2,000 to, and that's doing it on the cheap. Finding like a junkyard transmission, like to put in this car, and then after all the labor and everything, because you got to pull the whole fucking engine out.
This is back to Death doing his taxes. He's just like, how much is that going to be?
Yeah. No. Just get another car, man. Yeah, but after that, that's when I got the Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
The Monte Carlo was also a headache, but it was more fun to drive.
It was. I enjoyed everything about that car.
You enjoyed riding in it?
I said
big.
My worst car was the car that I had when I was with you. I had a 2001 Hyundai Accent, which was a literal shitbox. Like the fucking bumper was pulling away. It was so rusted out. Mm-hmm. But she drove.
Oh, she drove.
She drove. I don't even know how you would describe the interior. Sand.
Yep.
Very sandy.
Soft though. Seats are very supple.
Very soft. Oddly soft seats.
Supple seats.
Supple seats. I smashed it. And, I drove it on campus one day. I hit a patch of ice and smashed it into the sidewalk.
So one of my fondest memories of Hyundai Accents was we were in high school.
Oh shit! One of our friends. Exactly what you were gonna say.
Yep. One of our friends had a red Hyundai Accent, and he drove this car really fast.
He fucking ripped.
Yes.
He made this car rip. Like
he drove this car really fast wherever we went.
This thing was violently shaking when it got to 60, and like shaking so hard that I was like, I don't think you should go any faster. And he goes, I can get it to 90. And I'm like, okay.
I remember one night he gave me a ride home, and we're on the highway, and we're about to get off at my exit, and we're talking, and I look down, and then he just looks at me and says, "You ever done 100?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "We're doing $110 right now." I was like, all right, man.
I think we had very similar stories.
Yeah.
Were you in the car? I was like, this was a mutual friend we hung out with on a regular basis. Were you in the car? He was driving one night, and he decided there's like this bridge.
Yes.
And it has. Okay, you were in the car.
I was in the car.
The bridge was just low enough where if you hit it with enough velocity, you would jump it.
Yes.
So he's just like, I'm going to jump the bridge. And I'm like, okay.
I was like, you sure, man? He's like, yeah, I'm going to jump it. And I was like, all right.
And then he fucking did.
Yeah, the car went airborne. I remember that.
I think mind you, you just look it up. Go into Google. Just search 2000, and this is probably a 2004 Hyundai Accent at this point.
3, 4, something like that. I want to say it was a 3.
Very borderline go-kart. Like
it was a little go-kart, definitely.
And
I gotta admit, it was probably you had the same car.
I did, but mine
it was probably a fun little zippy car if you put your foot in it.
It was honestly like it wasn't the worst car to drive. You know, just like ripping around the campus in college, stuff like that. It was a good time, but like you know, it was just nice to know like it was a good pull for you as a young man being like, I have a car. The girl's like, can I get a ride to campus? And I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hop in, bitch. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't. I'm still a gentleman.
Hop in.
You know, I called her
whore. Whore. No, so, but yeah. No, that friend that drove, I have not seen him in forever.
I was following him on social media for a minute. And I don't know what he's doing anymore. He wasn't like graphic design, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. He kind of seems like the kind of guy that would like go far west, like would go to California and just kind of be among the palm trees.
I could see that.
Yeah, that's his style. That's his vibe.
Yeah,
He turned me
driving.
on to some, he turned me on to some like crazy house music too, which
He did.
Yeah, I loved it.
He was responsible for that.
He turned
Like
me on to some
Chromeo and shit.
some weird shit.
Yeah.
Chromeo still hits, man.
Yeah.
Don't you talk poorly about Chromeo.
Oh, I never will.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But I just remember him in that little red Hyundai accent flying.
Oh my god!
And I was like, if I'm gonna die tonight, it's gonna be in this car. He jumped that bridge the night we went to the wet spot.
Oh my god, the wet spot.
Yes.
Oh god, there was this shitty club back in our hometown that was for like young people.
It was an underage.
It was like an 18 and under nightclub. And it was
Yeah.
called the Wet Spot, which is
It's
disgusting.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
like,
called it.
Kind of weirdo would weird. Ugh.
I remember I told my dad, I was like, yeah, we went to this place. It was called the Wet Spot. And he was like,
spit out his coffee.
No, he was just like, the Wet Spot? And I was like, yeah, it's the name of the place. He was like, ew.
Son, come over here. I'm going to tell you what exactly a wet spot is.
The Wet Spot. Like, that's the name of the place.
Son, there comes a time when a man loves a woman very, very much.
What's weird, though, just hindsight being 2020, this was an underage, like, spot.
It was an underage spot that it was definitely crawling with gang violence. Like, you could feel it.
They shut down probably about 2 weeks after we went there.
I remember we walked out one night and I was just like, are we about to get fucking jumped? Like, what did we do?
No, I remember, though, like, probably a week or two after we went there. That was the one and only time we went there. And they got shut down because there was a stabbing outside of there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so, like, that was it.
Pretty on brand for the wet spot.
Yeah, the wet spot was truly wet that night.
The river runs red with Burgundy's blood.
Yeah. It's the wet spot.
Yeah.
Where else did we go? We used to go to fucking Rockin' Bowl.
Yeah, we used to go to the mall a lot too.
We used to go to the mall.
We were big mall rats. Yep.
Yeah.
Mall
sluts.
We did all of your adolescent, hooliganness. You know, we did a lot of all that stuff. But there's one I was gonna say I do recall like several things happening with him. I remember like did we go to a party one night and he drove us?
I don't know if I was there.
Maybe not. I think I went to a party with him one night. And I was like, I don't know any of these people. And he'd been drinking, and he's like, I'm going to drive. And I'm like, I don't think you should. That's a bad idea. And he's just like, yeah, you know. And he was like really like posturing the fact that his dad was a cop. And I was like, okay. Yeah. Nah, I don't know if I like this. Like,
Maybe not tonight.
And that's when I found out that he was a man of the law. He really backed the blue that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of that stuff going on. I was thinking, because we were having all this toilet paper talk, which is a new segment of the show, toilet paper talk. I have to get an MRI tomorrow.
Okay.
Because my insides are starting to get a bit of the bubble guts again.
Yeah. You gotta get the man pussy checked.
So I got to get an MRI tomorrow afternoon. So I got to fast in the morning, which is it's all right. You know, I wait until like odd hours to eat anyway. So it's waiting until like 4 p.m. to eat. So I like have to get that done, and then I also have to get a colonoscopy done 2 weeks later. And it's like I still don't understand why I have to get everything done. But the doctor's like, we basically have. I have a new doctor here, and he's a nice guy, but like. You can just, I'm already getting the vibe that he's just like, this guy's already fucked. Like, yeah, he's like, I don't know what I can do. and that's never good. That's like never comforting.
Does he look at your charts and he's like,
No, well, when I first went to the doctor, he like put my chart down and it made it was like a Torah. It just thud, like hit the table. And he goes, a lot of info here. And I go,
it's like a 90s phone book.
Yeah. He's like, a lot of info here. I go, yeah, I wanted to give you everything. He goes, there's a lot. I was like, yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm going to have to curl up with a glass of wine and go through this weekend, buddy.
Yeah, he basically did. He goes, I don't want to keep you here all day, but he goes, I'm going to dive further in this over the weekend, and we'll kind of figure out what our next steps are. And I was just like, it's always the classic doctor line. We'll figure out what our next steps are. And it's just like, my next step is like just make me feel better. And he's just like, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. And like,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
But it's always like a situation where, like, have you ever had a colonoscopy done before?
No, I've never had a colonoscopy.
Okay. I've had like, I bet I could teach a seminar.
Okay.
I'm to the point where I'm just like, wheel in the projector. Let me show you everything that's going to go on.
Yeah. Do they still need to put you out, or can you just?
They do, yeah. But they use like propofol, which is like it's like an anti-nausea med.
Oh, propofol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit that killed Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but they give you like a fucking like.
Okay.
It's like an anti-nausea drug, but it's also,
Yeah.
Does everything for you.
Good shit.
It literally, you need like a rusty spoon's amount. And you just, it literally knocks you out for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And you wake up, you feel nice and violated. There's blood on the sheets, and it's just like, why is there blood on the sheets? And you're just like, oh, sorry, we had a hard time getting it out.
Doctor's just nervously putting his pants.
Yeah, he's pulling his pants up. He's buckling his belt.
He's just, fuck. Oh man, sorry about that.
Yeah. I mean, you are getting paid to get. It's weird because you're paying. Your insurance is paying for somebody to openly violate you.
So you're like, you like Chipotle?
I can tell because it was hard for me to get in there.
Oh, messy. Shit.
But here's the thing. I don't want to scare anybody, but I feel like everyone has to get one. I might as well give a pep talk early. Okay. Come on in close, boys. It's about to be some campfire talk about colonoscopies. But the worst part of a colonoscopy is you have to prep for it, and and they always use terms like prep, and you have to make sure you're clean. And basically, all you're doing is taking enough Miralax to kill somebody, and you're literally getting rid of everything. And I didn't realize it until like the fourth or fifth time I was having one of these things where I'm just like, I mean, do I have to do this still? And they're like, yeah. They're like, one of my doctors literally used the term, we cannot leave any stone unturned, and I chuckled very loud. And I was like, what stone? The kidney stone? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's just like,
so I remember my dad had his first colonoscopy. It was when he turned 40.
40 is usually the year.
I think 40 is the year. And then another one of my friends has an autoimmune disorder. It was my roommate in college. He was diagnosed when we were in college, so he had to get a colonoscopy. So I remember just like, you drink a shitload of stuff and you got to spray everything out of you.
Spray is being... It's like, it is a fire hose. Like, it is terrifying.
A civil rights hose, just all of it coming out. Back baking pressure. It sounds like the German Shepherds. Okay. All right.
But then there's that. And then the whole thing with it is then you have to then go, obviously, to the appointment. And like, you're under for so short a time. Like, you come to and you're just like, oh, that was fast. And then you like, they put air into your body because they need to elongate, the track so they can put the camera in.
Yeah.
So all you're doing is just farting in front of attractive nurses. Which is like, there's nothing more unbecoming. Like for some reason, I don't know. For some reason, the GI wing, they're just like, let's take the hot interns and throw them up there, and then watch you embarrassingly fart loudly in front of them.
Yeah.
Like,
just really ripping them.
Yeah, I did it in someone's face accidentally one time. Like, this woman was going to grab my chart, and it was kind of like at ass height, and she went and grabbed it, and I was just like, just like, and she's just like,
sorry.
She's like, it's okay. She goes, this happens to everybody, and I was like, I mean, there's more coming, and you have to turn, and you have to like really get it moving. You have to do the twist, basically. You have to like, playing twist and shout in your head. It's just, basically, yeah. But there's nothing funnier than like getting somebody unexpectedly with a fart. I mean, it's so good. It never gets old. But especially your mother when she picks you up. Oh my God.
Oh man,
there is nothing better. Like,
great.
Because you can put yourself in like the the kind of like fetal position, and you can also kind of like lift your legs and get some torque.
Really do a burnout on them,
Yeah.
What you do is you put in neutral, really rev it up, and then just drop it into drive. Let the tires spin, bro.
I've timed them before. I had one that literally lasted 37 seconds.
Jesus Christ!
I was like, Doc, I was like, these are really starting to go. And he goes, well, you can't leave until you expel some of the gas. And I was like, all right. And I was like, better get your stopwatch ready. this one's a long one. But it wasn't. It was just like tip to toe. It was 37 seconds. Like it was fucking. Very jazzy at first. It had a smooth bass line, and then it fizzled at the end, but it sounded like popcorn popping, like a little bit.
I was thinking more of a 2012 Chevy Equinox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you've heard a sputtering engine on a late model Chevy Equinox, I mean, it's very similar.
Yep. That's Wine Boy's doing fart jokes. Let's do it. So,
hey, these are tasteful.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started about some of the other shit I've had to go through.
Yeah.
But
so you're getting another colonoscopy.
I am.
Proud of you.
2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm always the type of guy to like really like poke fun at the whole situation. Like I'm telling jokes and stuff like before I go in. Like the last one I had was a new doctor I'd never met before, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna like I have to mess with this guy a little bit, so. He's about to put me under, and he goes, do you have any questions? I go, yeah, is it going to hurt when you pull it out? And he goes, what? And I was like, because I'm going to be awake for this thing. And he goes, no, we're going to put you to sleep. I was like, I'm going to sleep. And I fell asleep.
Oh, man.
And he woke up. And when I woke up, he's like, you're joking, huh?
And what's funny, though, is he was probably thinking, like, he had to know. He had to know. I've read his file. He's had a million of these. He had to know. But he's just got that panic inside of his head the whole time. Like, he had to know. Yeah, Deb, he knew, right?
Right.
And she's like, Gary, he knew. He definitely knew. There's no way he didn't.
It's just like, he did know, right?
He did know. He had to know. There's no way he didn't know. It's like, fuck, I hope we don't get sued again.
Running the camera through my body. And he's like saying it to himself. He says, this motherfucker.
he just had to fucking know. God damn it.
You ever seen it?
Fuck Deb.
Have you ever seen what the cameras looks like?
Yeah.
It's a mini GoPro basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's not that bad. And he's just like, yeah, we have to put it through your butt. And I was like, all right. I was like, I didn't consent to this, by the way. He's like, you did sign the form. And I was like, yeah, you're right. You got me there.
Yeah. I feel like when I get a colonoscopy, I'm gonna look at the doctor. I'm gonna say, just make sure you spit on it first, and then just like go out.
Hey, while I'm under, kiss me on the head.
Just kiss my cheek, man. That's all I want.
Kiss me on the forehead. Tell me you love me.
Yeah. Before you put it in, can you at least tell me you love me?
Yeah. There's always that old joke. It's just like, you didn't even take me to dinner first.
Yeah. Oh, man. You got any poppers? Oh,
this wine glass is broken. I just realized. It's like
nice. Is it leaking?
No, it's not broken, but like the stem is like falling away from the base. So it kind of looks like a leaning tower of Pisa.
Okay.
Which is nice because I can get it into my face faster.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else, but I found this video. So Baker Mayfield did an interview.
Oh, really?
There's all this speculation going on with Baker Mayfield's future.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Browns officially traded for Deshaun Watson, so Baker's basically just like he's gonna be backup Baker, or he's gonna have to like he is.
Yeah, it's looking real backup-y right now.
Yeah, he's looking real clipboardy to me.
Yes.
But he was on this show. I don't remember if it was a Barstool show, but he was doing a show, and he like had this snippet in this comment. I posted it on my Twitter where he was just like, I just wish I could go into someone's office, just go to their cuticle, just boo the shit out of them. And he goes to see if they can handle it. I'm just like, yeah,
do it, big.
Fuck Greg.
Boo, boo.
It was like Baker Mayfield is like Baker Mayfield is the heckler at every comedy show. Like he's just funny. The guy's just like sitting in the back. He's just like boo, and I'm like, I haven't even fucking started yet. Like,
boo.
Like boo the material. Don't boo the person. Like,
your reports suck, Jim. Boo.
Yeah. Nice numbers, dick. Like,
use a calculator.
Yeah.
The functions are all built right in Excel. You fuck. Boo.
Hey, Greg, have you checked the quarterly numbers? Yeah, they say you suck.
Suck it, Greg.
We had one guy, I did sales for a while. We had one guy who was always just like the one fucking sales guy. Like there was always one. Like thank God, like in all the sales jobs that I had, I always was like sitting next to the wily veteran. Mm-hmm. Like the wily veteran that would always stop and start smoking. Like he was that good.
He's like, I need a cigarette. He
like
just goes outside.
Exactly. Well, no, he would never tell you he started again. Because you could tell, because he would always leave the nicotine gum on his desk. And I go, all right, he's trying to cut back. And then he would leave for like 10, 15 minutes at a time. He'd come back just like smelling like an ashtray.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, back on the fucking cigarettes? And he goes, shh. I'm like, who am I telling?
Yeah. How many of those guys are divorced?
Well, he wasn't divorced. His wife.
Yet.
They had a very good understanding relationship. They've been together for a while, and he's just like, he goes, we have a perfect dynamic. He goes, I smoke my cigarette. She goes to the casino. It works out. She plays the slots, and I smoke the sticks,
Yeah. I feel like there's like a 50-50 there as far as like veteran salesmen.
I worked with oh God, this guy was great. His name's Jim.
Okay.
There's so many Jims, it doesn't matter.
It was Jim. So many Jims.
He literally sold everything. He was in billboard sales. Then he went. Then he did radio advertising, then television advertising, and then back to radio advertising.
Oh wow!
It always circles back.
Yep.
And I remember, I didn't realize he smoked, but Jim was this really tall guy, and he was just so fucking cool. And he was like the guy I would kind of listen to because I love like a wise salesman.
Mm-hmm.
And he's outside, he's having a smoke, and he like kind of tilts the pack to me, and I was like 23 at the time, and I was like, oh, I'm good. He goes, soon.
Okay.
And I was like, soon what? He goes, you'll start smoking these, don't worry. Like 3 weeks later, I bought a pack of cigarettes.
Like he could see it on your face.
Yeah. And but I never smoked at work. It was always like when I was drunk and I was out with my friends.
Yeah.
Fucking, I see one of my other coworkers out at a bar one night. I'm outside smoking a cigarette. He goes, haha. And I was like, what? He goes, Jim said you were going to start. And I was like,
fucking Jim.
Jim's 70, man. What do you expect? Like, Jim's seen some shit. I made a fucking, I still to this day, I think it's the joke that told, it was one of the first things that I said that people came up to me and said, Wolf, you should fucking do comedy. I said, Jim's so old, he was selling billboard spaces when they were building the railroad. And he's just like, you're going to love the outside of this train car when it comes. And it was just like, that's really funny. And I'm like, yeah, well, what can I do?
Just imagine a stressed out 23-year-old Zach just drinking fucking past Blue Ribbon tall boys.
No, I was trying to be a fancy bitch back in the day. I was drinking a lot of like whiskey neats. Like I was,
Ooh.
Yeah.
And smoking cigarettes.
I remember this one night in particular. This was one of my favorite nights. So I lived in, when I first was out, like I was working, I lived in Albany, New York. for a little bit. And I went out one night with some of my friends, and it was like my first. No, not her. Isn't she married to a truck or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, so we go out, and it's me and some college friends, and I'm like drinking. I'm just like drinking whiskey all night, and like I had never really gotten to a point where I was like I'm this belligerent before. Like I'd been drunk, but I was just like I was whiskey drunk for the very first time.
Yeah.
And like the night was a lot of a blur, but I remember I got caught like literally stuck in a porta potty. Like there's a porta potty outside of this place, and I couldn't get out. And I was like, what the fuck, man? This door must be jammed or something. I didn't realize that the porta potty that was next to it was literally pressing up against the lock so you couldn't get out. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like in there for like a solid 20 minutes and nobody comes. Like fucking nobody comes.
Did you get to a point where you're like, well, I guess this is my life now?
I was like, I guess I'm just going to fucking sleep here. It's hot. I don't want to be here. It smells like chemicals. And then finally I hear like kind of a thud on the other side. Like I think the other stall or like the other like porta potty falls almost. And I open it, and it's my boy. We call it. His name's Freddie. I just call him Freddie for the story anyway. Freddie's like, oh shit, man. He goes, you've been in there the entire time? And I go, yeah. And he goes, fuck. And I was like, yeah. He goes, he goes, the other one wasn't opening either, so I kind of had to push it over. I'm like, oh, I said, is that why it's leaning up against the wall right now? I was like, you didn't come and save me? You just had to pee that bad? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, cool. So I go inside. I go up to the bar. I go, hey, I said, your porta situation's fucked. I said, one of them gets jammed. And I was like, you need to fix that. And they were like, we're not going to fix it. And I was like, okay.
All right.
I was like, so I go outside. Me and my other buddy help push the other porta potty up, and we lock Freddie in there for 20 minutes. And he is much more vocal than I am. He is like fucking pounding on the doors and trying to get out. And he goes, you're not going to let me die in here. You're not going to let me die in here.
Oh, man. Freddie died that night.
So fucking. He died that night.
Yep.
And guess what? We let Freddie die in there.
We let him. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite. Oh, God, I love that. That night was so awesome.
Oh, man.
So many firsts for me. I got whiskey drunk for the first time.
Yeah.
I had sex in a church parking lot.
Sick.
Yeah. It was on the campus of a college.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for you, man.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of myself.
Can't say I've ever had sex in a church parking lot.
I didn't know what it was until the bell started tolling, and I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? You know.
Yeah. You know.
Still young and dumb. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. You know.
But.
Oh, man. Good for you. Good for
Thanks,
you.
man. Thanks. You know, sometimes I like to relive, like to do a little Zach flashback.
Yeah, it seems like there's like a reminiscing episode.
Yeah, you know, we talked about a lot of things. Hyundai accent.
Yeah.
Bomber drops. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah. You know, you share stories about the
I feel like
first time a girl showed you her titties. I shared that on the podcast.
You know, hey, we all win. We all win in this one.
Yeah.
There was something else.
Not on this episode. I didn't.
No.
That's an older episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's always a good time.
It's always a wonderful time. Just sit with a friend, you reminisce, you drink wine, you know, talk about catching air, going over a bridge, you know.
In a late model Hyundai accent.
Yeah, and then you're on your way to a very inappropriately named underage bar.
The wet spot.
Yep, the wet spot. Did you ever go to Club 410?
Once, yeah.
I never went.
I like how we're just like doing deep cuts.
Okay.
It's just like there's no relevancy to this. What do they really want to know about? Do you guys want to know about what it's like to be a comedian in New York?
Yeah. No.
Every podcast is that. Everyone. They're just like it's all about the grind, man. You know, you got to really set yourself up. It's like, yeah, we know. I'm aware.
Yeah. So
there was actually, I will tell you this. So there was this. I did a show the other night, and this is the first time this has happened. A woman came up to me after the show, and I was flattered. I was like, "Oh my God, thank you! Oh my God, thank you!" She comes up to me after the show. She goes, "Is your dad really not around?" And I go, "Yeah." I was like, I just talked about it on stage, and she's like, "Do you want to talk about it?" And I go, "No."
I just got done talking about it.
Yeah, I said I don't. She goes, "Well, I'm a therapist." And I go, "Oh, okay."
Uh-huh.
I said, "Do you want to talk about it here so I don't have to pay for it?"
Uh-huh.
She's like, "No, I was talking about that." I was like, "Oh, I don't want to go." I was like, fucking handing out free consultations. Like, you're telling me that.
Hey, it's New York. You got to hustle.
I appreciated it.
Yeah.
And my buddy was like, he goes, "Were you just getting hit on?" I was like, "No." I said, "I think I was getting swindled."
You just got a sales call from a therapist.
I know.
That is funny, actually. That you should work that into your act. I'm just saying, because that is actually
I'm getting cold called by therapists right now.
Yeah, no, you're getting like straight up like, did your car really break down? Like, yeah. Well, Doug Johnson Subaru. Just come on down. We can get you into something nice.
Oh God. That's how I feel about my friends that are in real estate. They're that way.
Yeah.
Like, I have a buddy who he leases apartments.
Okay.
Not like in like New York Metro, but like Jersey and mostly like kind of New Jersey, kind of like that like metro area.
Yeah.
And I remember one night there was this two couples at the bar, and he was just fucking back and forth with them. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. I was like, "Do you ever stop?" And he goes, "Nah, man." He goes, I read The Art of the Deal the other day. And I was like, oh my God.
That book is so bad.
Oh my God, that's so bad. What's the other? I keep forgetting the name of the book. What's the one about influencing people?
By Trump?
No, the other one. It's like how to something influence people. I see like every third. Basically, anytime I'm by the NYU campus, every third Asian has one. I don't know why.
Really?
It's always an Asian kid. I don't know why.
It's how to something and influence people.
Yeah, hold on. Influence people. How to win friends and influence people. It's a Dale Carnegie book.
This is a real book.
It's a real book. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like yeah. I gotta say, you've probably seen the cover before. Let me see if I can find it. It's everyone. But it's funny because, like I said, you go to like the NYU campus and you see, and it's only just like I saw 2 Asian kids reading at one time, and like back to back, and I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm trying to see like the original cover is like this purple hardcover.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see if I can pull it up and see what it looks like. Yeah, this thing. You see that?
Found it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. It's the first and still the best book of of its kind, and a way to find it in the best way to find yourself, and the best way to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But I just find it entirely hilarious that it's just like, a bunch of white dudes are just like, I'll just fucking read Twitter.
Yeah.
And you just have these like, intellectual Asian kids who are just like, I'm gonna influence people.
Yeah. Like, how do I win the hearts and minds of millions?
Yeah.
How to win friends and influence people. I might read that. I want to be more charming. I
kind of thought about it because like I kind of like poking the holes in like those types of books. It's just like, do I need this?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I just talk to people like a person? But some people can't.
Hey, honestly, I like a good self-help read.
I do too. There's a couple that I've gotten into.
Yeah. Like
I
read the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh God, you and every fucking other dude.
I know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What else did I read? The Art of War.
That's a good one though. That one is.
That one's a good one.
It makes you visceral and angry.
Yeah. Did I read Rich Dad Poor Dad? Of course I did. Did I read The 48 Laws of Power? No, I
No, I haven't read that either.
I haven't read that one.
Somebody recommended that to me the other day. I was like, no, I think I'll just kill myself.
Nope, I'm good. Yeah.
Like, I'll just jump into the river instead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think we're good here.
Yeah, I think we're good.
We've had a good time. You seem a little sleepy.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm good. We reminisced a lot. What are we going to name this episode? I don't know.
No, we'll figure it out.
But
we'll talk to you next week. We love you with all of our hearts. Bye.
I love you. Please call me back. Where's my mouse? Fuck.